friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, a little notify bell next to it if you want to always get your new Going In Raw notifications. Of course, it's Saturday, which means it's Countout time, Larson.
Yeah.
That's right. And given that, and I don't know what the final number is going to end up being. Tomorrow is, of course, Stomping Grounds.
Stomping Ground, yes.
Which, they've had very little time to build. There's not a lot of enthusiasm about it or the product right now.
There's zero enthusiasm about it.
And to add salt on that particular wound, there is several graphics floating around out there which would seem to suggest it's a seating chart for the arena at Stomping Grounds. That Stomping Grounds is going to be at, rather. And the attendance looks a little sparse. Might not be the best attended pay-per-view in the history of time.
It was looking pretty lousy when we looked at it earlier today. Let's take a look at the map right here and now.
Of course, we're filming this on Thursday.
Yes.
We're filming this a couple days ago.
Yes, so things could have changed.
But of course it got us thinking as you looked that up. How are we doing here?
So there's only one section of floor seats that's sold out.
Oh my, wow.
There's a couple here, there's a handful here, and then along the aisle, there's a lot over here and a lot over here. Usually it's like a given that floor seats are going to sell out.
Hold on a second.
My understanding
Isn't the camera going to be here?
The camera's right here. And apparently they tarped all this off. That's what I
Nobody's sitting right here, though. What's that going to look like?
The blue is the available seats.
Oh, the blue's the available seats.
Yes.
Okay. Still, that's a lot. Yes.
That's
a lot.
So there's a handful of seats available over here, a bunch available towards hard cam, a bunch on the floor available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How much would a good $502? No wonder no one's going.
Yeah. Well,
that's for third row. No, thank you.
So, in any event,
it's going to be a sparsely populated show, it seems.
But it could be a lot worse.
And, it might make its way onto this list. I'll be kind of surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'd be surprised. There are some low numbers on this. Yeah. On this particular list here. So
what is this list, Steve?
Oh, yeah. As hopefully you saw by the title and maybe the thumbnail, this is the worst attended WWE pay-per-views of all time.
Now, these are just main roster shows. We're not taking into account NXT, really ECW either, because that was his own thing.
Yeah, you can't look at One Night Stand because they intentionally did that at the Hammerstein Ballroom, the first two One Night Stands. And so, of course, it's going to have like 2,000 to 3,000 people there. I think it was like 2,500 was the attendance.
Yeah, like
there.
25, 26. Something like
yeah. And so, obviously you don't look at that. They did that venue for a very specific reason. It's history and ECW lore, the intimacy of it.
This is just pay-per-views branded with WWF, WWE.
Yeah. And we also, this is a lot of it is going to be a fascinating info dump. Hopefully a fascinating info dump.
Yeah, hopefully.
But we also have the venue and the capacity of the venue because that's kind of important here.
Yeah, it's not just, there's a couple on here that has low attendance numbers, but it's also in a smaller venue. But that kind of speaks to the state of the business at the time.
Yeah.
That in the mid-'90s, the company was doing so poorly that it could barely sell out a modestly sized venue.
Exactly.
Or not sell out.
Well said. Let's get on with it. Number 10. King of the Ring, 1993.
So this is the end of Hulkamania, we thought.
Yeah. Well, this is the end of Hulkamania
in WWF for a while.
9 years. 9 years,
yeah. Of course, Hogan. This is like the second time we thought he was going to retire. This time to go film a TV show, but he ended back up in WCW about a year later.
Yeah.
This show took place at the Nutter Center. In Dayton, Ohio.
That's funny.
For a basketball game, it has capacity of 10,400. 6,500 people showed up for this show. Headlined by Hulk Hogan.
Maybe if they would have known that it was his last... No, I don't think anybody knew at the time. Yeah. He dropped the title to Yokozuna in very in typical...
In the middle of the card, too.
In typical Hogan fashion. Yeah, that's right. The Intercontinental Championship match was the main event.
No, it wasn't.
No,
it was the King of the Ring finals.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, the one just prior to that was the Intercontinental Championship match. You'd think that'd be switched with the Heavyweight Championship match.
You'd think, but they just apparently want to get Hogan dropping the belt out of the way.
Yeah.
Of course, the match is infamous for Hogan's loss being caused by exploding a flashbulb.
Oh, you mean he didn't put a younger star over?
Cleanly, no.
No, of course not.
Hulk Hogan, of course he doesn't do that.
No.
A highlight of this particular show is that Bret Hart wrestled 3 times.
Well, no, I mean, if you look at the actual lineup for King of the Ring, you had Bret Hart versus Razor Ramon,
Opening round match.
Yeah, Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect.
That was probably pretty good.
And then you do get Shawn Michaels versus Diesel. But then getting back to the King of the Ring, the final was,
No,
Bret.
it's Shawn Michaels versus Crush.
What did I say?
Diesel was.
Oh, he was with Diesel. Okay.
Diesel was his bodyguard.
Oh, okay. That was probably crap. And then Bret Hart beat Bam Bam Bigelow, which kind of just depends on. I mean, it was an 18-minute match.
Yeah. Bam Bam could put on some good performances.
I'm sure. No, I like Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah.
I'm not like super familiar with his work, but I've seen enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, otherwise, yeah, let's see here. A Smoking Guns versus Steiner Brothers versus Head Shrinkers
versus Money Inc.
versus Money
kind
Inc.
of a rematch of 2 matches from the previous WrestleMania.
We had Lex Luger versus Tatanka.
Ooh, time limit draw.
Oh man, that went 15 whole
Exciting
minutes.
stuff.
That went 15
But
whole
this
minutes.
kind of speaks of the period WWF was in at the time. People had grown weary of Hulk Hogan.
Well, this is an interesting period because it's not a period where they recognize, like later on, we'll get to some of these in your houses from a couple of years later, where they understood we shouldn't be trying 10,000 seat venues. This was, as you said, the Nutter Center, 10,400 for a basketball game is the attendance.
Yeah, so it's probably roughly the same for wrestling.
Right, exactly. And so this was like, 65% of that basically that they were able to sell out. So after this, they sort of maybe realized.
Yeah, it took a couple of years, and they're like, let's set our sights a little more modest instead of going for the major basketball arenas or hockey arenas in the area. Let's go for like the older basketball or hockey arenas in the area. Because in the mid-'90s, the Louisville Garden became quite the popular destination for WWE action in Louisville, Kentucky.
This is also the earliest WWE pay-per-view on here, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. So I think at the time, this was actually a record low attendance for pay-per-views.
By and large, at this point, you had the major 4. You had Mania, Rumble, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, of course.
You would think if enthusiasm was high then, they're adding another big thing, King of the Ring.
Let's get excited, yes.
Yeah, but
opposite, no one cared about Hogan anymore.
And this was dead in the. This was what was the date on this? I mean, it was June, right? Still,
Yeah, I believe so.
If this was still June, there's a lot of dead time between Mania and SummerSlam.
Yeah,
this is smack in the middle. This is like when Money in the Bank is now.
Yeah.
You would think that people would be up on it. Oh man, WrestleMania is a couple months back. We had that weird finish.
June 13th.
June 13th. There you go. And then we're still 2 months away from.
Well, also here's another thing: is kids are out of school.
Yeah, right. It's summertime.
It's summertime. You got time to fill in your summer. Why not go see some wrestling?
No, what are they doing in Dayton, Ohio? Nobody's doing anything. They sure didn't want to see Hulk Hogan.
No.
Or the rest of the WWE superstars.
Yes.
So, anyways, Hulk Hogan went out with a whimper, and then his nostalgia act came back post NWO career, WCW career. And
people were into him then.
And people were into him then. That's okay. I wasn't into him then. I didn't know that he would said the things he said, man. It's okay. It's all right. Anyways, let's move on. Did you know back then? Did you know? Oh man, that Hulk Hogan. You people will see when the tapes have been released.
I mean, it's not like he didn't get some indication of some of the promos he did in WWF.
I know, but I wasn't watching when he was doing those.
Yeah, I didn't
promos.
watch WrestleMania 9 live. In fact, I hadn't seen the whole show till I was maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah,
3 years ago maybe.
Well, let's move on from that conversation,
then,
Larson. Number 9.
9.
In Your House 2.
I mean, main event of Diesel and Sid. How did this not sell
Where
out?
were the people on this one?
Elsewhere in Nashville. This took place at Nashville Municipal Auditorium. Capacity of this venue, 9,700. 6482 showed up for this show.
All right. This is 2 years after that.
This is like peak
one.
lean period for WWF.
Yeah.
Like verge of going out of business, WWF.
Yeah.
Also on the card, along with Diesel versus Sid, in a lumberjack match.
This is July of 95.
Yeah. I must remind you, for the Intercontinental Championship, you have Shawn Michaels reclaiming his Intercontinental Championship from Double J.
Oh, ain't I great?
JEFF, JARRETT, Jeff Jarrett, ain't he great? You had a tag team title match with Owen Hart and Yokozuna, your champions, taking on the Allied Powers, who were the British Bulldog and Lex Luger. It's a weird mishmash of stuff. It's no wonder that WWF wasn't doing too well at the time.
Well, also, so I haven't looked too deep into I haven't heard Bruce Pritchard or anybody talk about the nature of the In Your House pay-per-views.
Well, I remember him in the Sid one. He talked about this, where there was this constant push and pull with Sid. where at times, especially when he first came around to WWF, they wanted to push him as the next huge thing to replace Hogan, essentially.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to push him enough, 'cause I guess Vince liked him as an attraction, because he's huge and he's a decent talker.
Yeah, sure.
And, he makes a bunch of crazy faces and he has a good fist bump.
He doesn't like a good fist bump.
I know. So they build him up as an attraction, and he said in this period, it was all about building up Diesel.
Yeah.
So they're just feeding Diesel all these monsters, essentially.
Right.
And this was Sid's turn in line.
Okay, yeah.
Even though Diesel puts on much better matches with smaller competitors instead of these lumbering bouts that in no way highlight any of his abilities.
Yeah, okay. So there's like if you look at the match times, there's about an hour and a half of actual wrestling.
Not including the dark matches. What is weird about the ladies in your house shows? There's a lot of huge names that are relegated to dark matches. One of the dark matches Bret Hart's in a dark match, and The Undertaker's in a dark match.
Oh, that's including dark? Yeah, you're right. That's including dark matches.
Most of these in your house shows are like 2 hours long.
Okay, all right. So that's why they were like
I believe.
slighter. No, you're right, because I was just including the dark matches. You take out, that's roughly a little bit more. That's like 35 minutes or about a half hour you take out of that.
Yeah.
That's like an hour of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Bell to bell, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Interesting stuff. But then, I think was this maybe part of 95 when remember when Pritchard was talking about home video, how they had moved they had sort of shifted their home video strategy.
Yeah, because it was getting cheaper to produce, and they were selling it at a cheaper price.
Yeah, and so these were probably the more like the economy VHS tapes.
It was around that time, probably.
So it was probably like, hey, let's do these smaller ones so we can move more video.
For the longest time, a VHS tape was like $60 to $90.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Which makes me think back when my parents bought our first VCR in, I don't know, like 83 or 84, I don't know what it was. And they bought a film for us, which is Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Now that I'm sitting here, I wonder how much they spent on that. One VHS tape.
Probably a lot.
Probably at least $40.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Feel bad about that now in hindsight, because $40 in 1983 or 4 is probably a good chunk of money.
That's a ton of money.
And the VCR itself is probably pretty expensive.
Yeah. We mainly, did you guys do a lot of like tape trading? Not tape trading necessarily, but like we would
record stuff off.
We would
TV.
record a lot of like they would have. I remember I had a copy of Star Wars taped, and then my dad would also like get tapes. Like there were always people at his job who would like record movies, like illegally bootleg them onto VHS tapes, and like my dad would go bring those home. So we had like a bunch of just like movies that were recorded on.
Yeah,
like,
we used to record stuff.
Tapes.
I still have. I think I still have V: The Final Battle from its original broadcast airing.
That's cool. That was a creepy ass.
That was great.
Yeah.
V: The Final Battle.
Lizard
awesome.
people. That's scary.
That's such a great miniseries.
Yeah, that was awesome. Anyways, moving on. Number 8.
8.
Taboo Tuesday, 2005.
So this is the second one of these Taboo Tuesday deals where they thought, hey, let's have a pay-per-view on a Tuesday and let the fans decide the matches.
Yeah, and here's the thing. As you'll see much, much later in this list, the first one didn't exactly, it's a Tuesday. The first one didn't exactly score a huge attendance.
And oddly enough, the second one performed better than the first.
Yeah.
This being the second one, took place in the I Pay One Center in San Diego.
I'm going to take a wild guess here, Larson.
That wasn't the name in 2005. Probably not.
Oh, that's what it's called now?
Probably.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say I Pay One.
I mean, it's something else.
I would think that it's something different now.
Could be. San Diego capacity of this venue is 14,500. Maybe it's the Cox Center now.
Let's find out. I Pay One sounds like such a Silicon Valley 1998.
It kind of does. This is San Diego.
Late 90s.
So the capacity of this venue was 14,500. Only 6,000 people showed up.
Oh, wow.
But the card is actually pretty decent.
Yeah, they had some good.
I mean,
was this a Raw specific pay-per-view? Because I saw Flair on the thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. But you had Flair versus Triple H in a cage match. Triple threat for the WWE title: Cena, Angle, and Shawn Michaels.
My internet's not giving me what I
then
want.
you got Batista versus Coachman in a street fight. That's not that great.
That doesn't sound good.
It doesn't sound good.
Did we do we did a thing on this?
I think on the other one, 2004, we did a thing.
We did a thing on 2004.
I think so, because a lot of that was looking familiar.
Okay, all right.
We'll get to that later.
Now it's the hold on a second. The Pachanga Arena?
Oh, okay.
Is that what it is now?
I guess so. So the capacity 14,500.
It was, so this is what I figured. The iPay 1 Center was only the iPay 1 Center between 2005 and 2007.
So 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, and that bubble burst.
Yeah.
Valley View Casino Center until last year, from
It's
2010.
interesting seeing the phases, the periods where a lot of these pay-per-views kind of pop up.
Yeah.
It's usually mid-90s or mid-aughts, seemingly.
Yeah.
The kind of fallow periods for WWE, WWF.
Yeah.
And, they just have to kind of push their way through it. But like several Pritchard podcasts, they talk about that there is this period here, 2004, 2005, where they're, a lot of, like, at this point, Stone Cold, Rock, they're gone. Mm-hmm. Even a lot of the guys from WCW at this point, Goldberg, I think Hogan's gone by this point. Mm-hmm. They're gone.
Yeah, they had everybody, and then
within it's been like a couple of years gone.
Yeah.
So they were really focusing on cultivating and developing new talent, and that's when you see like Guerrero, Benoit, Edge,
into his own.
Kurt Angle, although he's kind of a holdover. John Cena. Mm-hmm. You see a lot of these Batista, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
You see a lot of these guys getting pushed to the main event. And Pritchard talks about, it's like, yeah, we knew we were going to take a hit, but they were trying to invest in their future. Funny, they don't take that same approach now.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Bummer, man. There's a lot of really good talent out there right now.
There's some great talent out there. I mean, they have no problem signing people.
No.
It's developing seems to be another
Cultivating, developing talent. That's
so, yeah. No, you're right. Those are good cards. Cena, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship. Ric Flair, Triple H, Steel Cage Intercontinental Champion. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Flair went in as champion and left as champion. That was a really fun little run there. I do remember that. That was really cool.
It was like the one belt he never really held because he was the U.S. champ in WCW. So he's part of that lineage.
Yeah.
Of course, the WCW title, WWF title.
Wait, so they did this they did this again, the Fulfill Your Fantasy Battle Royal?
Oh, they did that again? Really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh my goodness gracious. Anyways, let's best move on from that,
let's
Larson.
move on. Let's move
Number 7.
7.
In your house 12. It's time.
Of course.
Was this a spotlight for one Vader?
No.
No. Interesting.
No, he wasn't. He didn't have a match on the main card.
Well,
Maybe
it doesn't say it's Vader time, but it wasn't. It's time.
It's time. It's time. Then it's Vader time.
Yeah, then it's Vader time.
Catchphrase. Sorry. This show took place in the West Palm Beach Auditorium. That's in Florida.
This was almost a sellout, though. If the capacity is to be, this might have actually been a WWE sellout.
It could be capacity 6,000, attendance 5,708. If they just put this in a venue twice as large, logically speaking, they would have sold twice as many tickets.
Oh, right, but no, because this is 1996, and my God, like there's lots of upside to this. Wait, no. Well, The Rock's on this roster.
Yeah, but it's Rocky Maivia, not The Rock.
Yeah, I'm just saying a potential upside.
Yeah.
Owens there, Diesel and Razor Ramon. That had to have been. When was this? That had to have been on their way out.
Or Phony.
Yeah.
Is that Phony?
Oh, is it? Hold on a second. In your house.
12.
My time.
It's time.
It's time. This isn't Triple H yet. It's time.
You have, as you see from the still from this particular show, Mark Merrow taking on Triple H for the Intercontinental Championship.
My internet is wonky on my computer right now.
Let's deal with that.
I don't know.
And then The Undertaker took on someone named the Executioner in an Armageddon rules match.
Yeah, who was the Executioner again? I swear I knew that.
And then main event, your champion, Sid. This is early 2006. Oh, Terry Gordy was the Executioner. That's right.
This is December of 1996.
Oh, wow. Late 96. This is
way past Diesel.
Yeah, that's fake. That's phony.
Those are fakies.
Those are phonies.
Phony baloney.
Champion Sid.
Yeah, Daily Motion here has the video. One of these videos: Owen Hart and British Bulldog versus Fake Diesel and
Fake Razor Ramon. Champion Sid defeating Bret Hart for the WWF title. Shawn Michaels, I believe, got involved.
December of '95. This has been a month before.
No, December '96.
December '96 had been a month before Austin winning the Rumble '97, but then he got the Bret Hart match.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All that weird Undertaker, Bret Hart, Sid stuff.
Where Sid holds the title till Rumble the following year, '97.
Yeah.
Following month, I guess. And
Look at the poster for this.
Michaels beats him for it.
Sharpshooter versus Powerbomb. Look at Sid barely getting a guy up for a powerbomb. That does not look like it's going to go well.
No. Who is that? Can you tell?
Is it The Rock? No. I don't know who that is.
Here, let me see.
Who do you think that is?
Definitely not The Rock.
No.
It's probably some jobber.
Yeah. but then Brett has somebody else in the sharpshooter there.
Yeah.
Who won that match?
Sid.
Sid?
I think Shawn Michaels got involved because he had a match against, or is going to have a match against Sid at the Rumble.
Oh, okay. So here, Wikipedia does confirm this. The name of the show was taken from Vader's catchphrase and indicated that he was originally scheduled to have a high profile on the show, but due to injuries was not on the show at all.
Also, I guess Vader was supposed to be in Sid's spot.
Really?
Yeah, they were supposed to give Vader a huge push.
Really?
But like Vince didn't take a liking to him.
Well, I knew that part. I knew that Vince didn't. I didn't know that he got so far as to having been considered for a push. I just figured that he came in and Vince didn't like him, and that was it. Wow, they were going to give him a push, huh? Mm-hmm. That's cool. What do you not? How does anybody not like Vader?
Yeah, I don't know.
Vader's great.
He is great.
In the dark matches, Shawn Michaels beat Mankind, and Stone Cold Steve Austin beat Goldust.
Several months later, Mankind and Shawn Michaels have a hell of a match at In Your House Mind Games. That's a really underrated bout.
Yeah, it is.
It's one of my favorite Shawn Michaels matches,
also, too. Brackus defeated Dr. X.
Some crazy names.
And then Rocky Maivia beat Salvatore Sincere, or Sincere, depending, I guess.
It's probably
Sincere.
Dr.
X was Tom Pritchard.
No.
That's dope. Anyways, what was the attendance on this one?
It was
like almost
slight.
It was a small sellout.
It was almost a sellout. 5,700. It was a 6,000 seat venue.
Capacity, yeah.
So
the West Palm Beach Auditorium.
That's in Florida.
Yes, it is. Anyways, wow, interesting. Let's move on. Number 6.
6.
In Your House 6. Wow, that's actually very convenient.
You want some more 6s in here?
Look at this super kicks.
The show took place in the aforementioned Louisville Garden. We'll mention that again pretty soon. Capacity 6,000.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Tickets sold 5,500.
You could say that's a sellout.
Almost a sellout, but again, that's a period of time where they had to lower their sights.
And we don't know if that capacity, is like for wrestling specific. Like for wrestling specific, that might be actually sellout. I think they did really well.
They probably did, all things considered, pretty good. The 2 headlining matches on this card are actually really good.
Okay.
You get Brett versus Diesel in a cage match. That could have been good. No,
that could have been good. Yeah.
And then for the a singles match determined number 1 contender for the title at WrestleMania 12. HBK versus Owen Hart.
Oh,
that was probably really good.
That was probably a really good match right there.
Earlier on, you got Razor Ramon taking on the 1-2-3 Kid. That was probably solid.
That was the real Razor Ramon.
Yeah,
not the fake
95.
one.
Yes,
95.
I've been genuine Scott Hall Razor Ramon, and same with Scott Diesel Hall. In the main event. That wasn't Kane, Glenn Jacobs. That was in fact Kevin Nash.
That was actually him.
Yeah.
Yokozuna versus British Bulldog. Triple H with Elizabeth Hilden.
I have no idea who that is.
Who's a defeat? We know who Dumpster Duke Drosy is.
Duke the Dumpster Drosy.
Duke. Elizabeth Hilden. Now I'm curious.
She was an adult model for Penthouse. Pent of the Month, June 1995.
Nice. Not even Playboy. That's when you know business is so down. It's like we can bring out the Playboy gals for Mania. Well, Shawn Michael and Diesel. They had what? Pam Anderson and they had the anti-vaxxer. What's her face?
Anyway. McCarthy.
Yeah. Right. But then here at In Your House, did Dumpster Drosy come out with like a cherry girl or something?
I don't know.
Or maybe just a writer from Penthouse Forum.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Hilden. Oh my goodness. That's funny. Hilden. It's on my phone. It doesn't matter. Images. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Oh, look, she looks, if that's her, she looks pretty good.
Apparently she owns a tattoo shop now.
She owns a tattoo shop now?
Yeah. That's what Wikipedia says.
Oh my gosh, what is this? There's some dark stuff going on in these.
Anyways.
On the internet.
This is like around the time they were doing a lot more pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Like it was way more than just the Major Four or King of the Ring. They were trying to do almost one a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So as they saw then, you got to have a lot of placeholder matches, stories and such.
Yeah. Yeah. Their roster was just,
it was kind of thin.
That was a thin roster.
Pretty thin.
But again, they're playing to their strengths. I mean, don't get a 10,000 venue.
Go to 6 and get a near sellout.
And then they could probably have said, we sold this. Do you think back when they were doing 6,000 seat arenas that they would announce it's a sellout?
No, they probably just swept that all under the rug.
Probably, yeah.
They just probably looked out before the show started. Well, not a whole lot of empty seats tonight.
We set a new record for the Louisville Garden.
Yeah. Largest gate attendance for a wrestling show.
Yeah. for a non-high school ceremony show. Oh, man. This is too much.
Too much.
Moving on. Number 5. In Your House 3.
A lot of In Your House.
So it's still just business is down. Nobody cares.
1995 was a really bad year. This took place in Saginaw, Michigan at the Civic Center there. Capacity, 7,647. Attendance, 5,146.
So they went to a small venue, 7,600, and still couldn't really crack even 6,000.
No. I think did we do an episode going in raw view on this? Because I remember this main event. Of course, you got two dudes with attitude.
This
Diesel,
is a stacked card.
WWE champion. Shawn Michaels, the Intercontinental champion, defeating Bulldog and Yokozuna for those WWF Tag Team Championships. They had all the gold.
Yeah, because remember, this was Bret Hart versus Jean-Pierre Lafitte.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Lafitte. And yeah. And it was like, oh, let's see if Bret could have a good match against Jean-Pierre Lafitte.
Well, I don't think it was that bad either.
Yeah, it was a decent match.
Oh, and Waylon Mercy.
Yeah, that's right.
He lost to Savio Vega.
Proto Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, we did a going in review on this. I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, I remember it was bad. Like main event was okay.
Things.
I mean, it's got Shawn Michaels in it. It's gonna be entertaining.
Well, yeah, and they had like some backstage stuff where the dudes with attitudes were just. It was just Diesel. It was just Kevin Nash.
You know who Lafitte is?
PCO.
Yeah, PCO.
Pico. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dean Douglas versus Razor Ramon.
It really is a shame we don't do Kayfabe Corner anymore because PCO's got all sorts of great names.
Give me some.
Wild Carl Wallace.
That's great.
Chris Cannonball.
That's great.
Killer Carl Wallace.
Oh, wow.
Bash the Terminator.
Bash the Terminator.
Those are great names.
That is a great name.
Anyway, the show wasn't great. Attendance wasn't great. WWF in this period, 1995, wasn't great either. I don't know how much more we can say about how not great things were in 95, 96 for WWF.
Well, they were going
Very
through a
much
lot.
not great.
You know, Ted Turner, he was starting up Nitro with Eric Bischoff at the helm.
Puffy shirt, Lex Luger,
Yeah.
Sabaro, or Steak and Shake. No, Steak Escape in the background. Sabaro down the way. Stromboli's in their tummies.
Oh, that sounds amazing right now.
That sounds really good.
To be honest with
You got to be wary.
I've had a banana today, and that's it. And it makes me, I can curse on. There's no ads in this one. Makes me fucking sad. So fucking sad.
Get yourself checked out, man. Make sure your tummy's okay.
Maybe
You got a trip coming up.
I know.
You want to travel across the pond, not be able to eat any of that fantastic.
Bangers and mash.
Fish
You want
and
some
chips.
fish and chips?
Yeah.
How about Aero Bar?
There you go.
Yeah, give me 3.
Some digestives.
That's what I need to have, some digestives. Yeah, so it's crap. Saginaw Civic Center.
I feel like a lot of these towards the end here, we actually watch for going in raw views. At least 3 of them we have.
Yeah, we went through a streak of wanting to watch crap.
Yeah.
It was like, how bad did they get? Let's watch that.
Let's watch the lowest of the low.
Let's watch people at their low point.
Yeah.
The Nitro. We'll stray off a little bit because you mentioned Luger and the puffy shirt.
Yeah.
The Nitro book that I've been reading.
Yes.
During my
Sent to us
by Draft House Games. Check them out.
Yes.
They're awesome.
Yes.
On the YouTube Draft House Games.
Yes.
Mentioned that the deal for Luger was $150,000. Around the same time when he scooped Scott Hall, it was for $750,000.
So they did lowball Lex.
Luger thought that he would make his case in the ring and show them that he's worth a lot more than that.
How'd that work out for him?
I don't know. That's what I was sort of curious about. So Lex obviously didn't have favored nations.
Guess not.
Right?
I guess
Because
not.
like they would have started him at way higher.
Or then when someone else got signed on, he would have got brought up to that level.
Maybe.
Well, that's the whole idea about favored.
That's what it is, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like when his contract ran out. Like how long did he get signed for?
Yeah, I don't know.
If it was 3 years, man, he was making pennies compared to everybody else.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it was like a 1-year deal, and then he figured, okay, that'd get bumped at that point.
Eric Bischoff wasn't a fan of him personally or professionally.
That's what he says. He says that does actually expand a little bit in that book.
Oh yeah.
He just says that he every time he encountered him, he had a big head. His ego was too big.
Interesting.
Not physically, that was big, but
Yeah.
You know.
think that altercation he had with Bruiser Brody might have humbled him a little bit. Guess not.
you'd think that'd be an early life lesson for the
Yeah,
guy.
you'd think so.
Anyways, let's move on. This is fun. Number 4.
4.
Armageddon 2004.
Definitely watch this one.
Yeah, we definitely did this one.
This one came to you from the Gwinnett Center in suburban Atlanta, I believe. Duluth, Georgia.
So, like, if you look at the other pay-per-views around this time, they weren't tanking to this capacity. They sold 5,000 tickets in an arena that had a capacity of 13,000.
Yeah.
The other pay-per-views around this time, they were all doing 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,000.
It's interesting why they ran the show all the way out in suburban. This is like way like northeast of Atlanta. You know, in terms of the suburbs,
like an hour drive,
maybe, I don't know, but you know, like the Hawks have their basketball arena in I don't know if the Phillips Center was around in 2004, but prior to that, it was the Omni.
Yeah,
I believe that's actually in the city limits of Atlanta. It's just interesting they ran it all the way, you know, so far out of the city center. Maybe a lot of people who lived in the metropolitan area of Atlanta would make the drive all the way out to Duluth for the show.
So this was a SmackDown brand specific pay-per-view. Prior to that was Survivor Series. God dang, you mentioned this off camera. The Survivor Series?
Oh, previous, yeah.
Which was a co-branded pay-per-view. It's obviously Survivor Series.
In Cleveland. That's where the Cavs play.
The Gund Arena, yeah. 7,500.
That's bad.
That is really bad.
What was the card for that?
Prior to that was Taboo Tuesday, which we'll get to soon.
Yeah. What was the card for Survivor Series?
Let's see here.
It was a main event, at least. Oh, was it a Survivor Series match?
Main event was, Team Orton, which is Benoit, Jericho, Maven, and Randy Orton defeated Team Triple H, Batista, Edge, Snitsky, and Triple H with Ric Flair at his side.
Undertaker versus Heidenreich.
Booker T. Heidenreich. Booker T versus JBL. Boy, how great would it have been if Booker T won that?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was for the WWE Championship. Undertaker.
Yeah, that's a
versus
lean period.
Heidenreich.
2004 is a lean period when you look back at it.
Yeah, it was. And I think maybe that was, again, like you said, and they mentioned, that's when they were building up stars. And I think that's around. Because look at this. You have Armageddon, which was 5,000. New Year's Resolution, which was Revolution, which was the next month, I'm assuming, January, got 15. That was in Puerto Rico. That might have been different.
Yeah.
Got 15,000. The Royal Rumble, 12.
Where is that one at?
Fresno.
Oh yeah, it's a smaller venue.
No Way Out after that, 9,500. I think that was a SmackDown specific.
Pittsburgh.
So that's almost double what the previous SmackDown specific one did.
Yeah.
Mania 21 was at Staples Center, got 20,000.
Yeah.
That was a sellout. And then Backlash was 14,000. That was a Raw pay-per-view. Things seemed to be ticking up at that point. Cena was hot at that point.
Yeah, he was a U.S. champion around then, leading up to that Mania where he won the title, right?
Yeah, you got a couple of clunkers. The Great American Bash 2005 was 8,000. SummerSlam sold out. What is this? Unforgiven 8,000. Yeah, they were building those stars,
that
man.
That was kind of low. 7,000.
7,000 for No Mercy. That was a SmackDown. All right, Taboo Tuesday.
Yeah.
What is this one? Detroit, Michigan?
Survivor Series.
Oh, Survivor Series. Then it was 15,000. Yeah.
A lot of pay-per-views doing less than 10,000.
Yeah, that was a lean time.
I haven't seen the show. It's not very good. Of course, you got the Daniel Pooter, Mike Mizanin boxing match.
Who's Mike Mizanin? Yeah, that was bad.
It's the Miz, man.
That was really bad.
That was really bad.
Yeah.
John Cena taking on
Jesus. Oh yeah, I remember Jesus. We used to see Jesus locally.
Yeah, this is the midst of the storyline where Cena got stabbed, right?
Why are people not tuning in to see John Cena take on the guy who shanked him? That's weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That's kind of bizarre.
Remember that, like on paper, the main event sounds really good. It's JBL versus Booker T versus Eddie versus Undertaker, but I don't remember much about it. They gave it a ton of time. I guess it was all right. I remember it being all right.
5 minutes. Yeah, I remember that being okay. Because Eddie Guerrero's in it, and he's good in everything.
Yeah.
Booker T's awesome, too. Funaki versus Spike Dudley. Big Show defeated Kurt Angle.
It's like when the Basham brothers were getting a push.
Luther Reigns and Mark Jindrak. The Basham brothers.
A handicap match saw Big Show defeat Angle, Luther Reigns, and Mark Jindrak.
Of course, earlier Kurt Angle had a match against Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Only lasted 25 seconds.
Yeah, well, Angle should win that quickly.
You would think. Oh, I remember this. Yeah, Rey Mysterio and Rob Van Dam were the tag champs.
Mm-hmm.
Took on Kenzo Suzuki and Rene Dupree.
Not a good show.
No.
Not well attended either.
No. Yeah. Yep. Let's move on. Number 3. Ground Zero in your house.
So I mentioned Louisville Garden. Mm-hmm. The show took place there, but drew less than the other one. What was the other one?
Ooh, this one was under 5,000.
Yeah, that one did 5,500, right? Yeah, this one did 49.63. Main event of the show is Shawn Michaels taking on The Undertaker. Went to a no contest, though.
So this was In Your House 97.
Bret Hart was champ. He took on The Patriot for the WWF title. Defeated The Patriot.
Not surprising.
No.
Not surprising. Let's see here.
Stone Cold's on the poster, but I think this is when he was hurt. He wasn't even on the show.
Well, what I want to look at, so this was September of 97.
So this is after Owen Hart broke his neck.
Now, let's take a look.
The show right afterwards.
At September of 98.
Oh, man, it's going to blow up.
That's going to be obscenely large. D-Generation X. Boy, even the D-Generation X pay-per-view didn't do that.
No.
Great.
Once Austin won the belt, things really blew up.
May. I know. I just want to, skip ahead. July. Oops, SummerSlam. Way to hell. September. Yeah. So 17,000. That was probably a sellout at the Cops Coliseum
in Hamilton, Ontario.
It says it has a capacity of up to 19,000, but for wrestling, that's probably a sellout right there. Yeah. They were doing just in 1 year, just
everything blew up for them.
Blew it up.
Absolutely blew up.
Blew it up, man.
At this point, it hadn't quite happened yet, especially when Stone Cold wasn't on the card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, if he had been, who knows? But it's interesting that Shawn Michaels and Undertaker went to a no contest. That's a bummer.
Yeah. Again, they didn't. I don't really think they treated these in your houses like they're all that special.
No, not really.
You know,
I mean, listen to the Pritchard show. Some of these shows back then had a bunch of wonk finishes.
Mm-hmm.
Just to keep storylines going.
Yeah,
it's a problem with having monthly pay-per-views.
What did the Patriot do to deserve getting a title shot?
I was heel Brett.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And Patriot was Super America guy, yeah, so that's what he did to deserve it.
How long was that match?
19 minutes.
Boy, they gave the Patriot a lot of time, huh?
Well, it's for the title, so
I'd expect Brett. Come on, man, you gotta be quicker than that. It's the Patriot.
Mm-hmm.
He's battling.
Had this match been in Canada, it'd probably been much shorter.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, you're assassinating his character.
Mm-hmm.
Anything over 12 minutes, you're assassinating my character.
12. Anything over 8 minutes.
Anything over 8 minutes.
You think I am an 8 wrestler?
Who else? Max Mini versus El Torito. I wonder if that was. Do you think it was the same El Torito?
I don't know. Click on the name.
Well, I can't hear.
No, you can.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap! Look at that.
Links work.
Man. Espectrito.
Here, scroll down. You can find out.
Oh, he died.
Oh, bummer.
In 2016. El Torito. Professional wrestling career. Nope.
No. All right.
Nope.
All right.
Different guy.
Gotcha.
Wow. Why didn't they call him El Torito too?
I don't know.
That's a bummer.
I don't know. As we find out later on, there actually was a Carmella before Carmella in WWE.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. That's a good. Well, that's not a segue. We still have to talk about this.
Yeah, we have the other one. This
another crap in your house.
This is a funny story, though.
Yeah, this is a great one. Here we go. Number 2 in your house. Yeah, in your house 8. Beware of dogs.
What's going on there?
More like beware of the
power
thunderstorms.
Yeah, it's a thunderstorm. So
this is a still from a match. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Savio Vega in a strap match.
Can't tell because the lights went out.
They still had the match though.
That's weird.
We were just having the match in the dark.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
So this show originally took place. This is from 1996.
McMahon was not really good on the audibles, was he?
No, he wasn't. He's not really good on the fly.
Power goes out. Well, nobody can see anything. Why risk your wrestlers?
I know.
Somebody dies during their entrance.
Yeah,
Just keep the show going. That's okay.
I know. So this show initially took place May 26th at the Florence Civic Center in Florence, South Carolina. That place has a capacity of 9,736. 6,000 people showed up. However, 2 matches into a show, a massive thunderstorm caused a power outage.
1.21 gigawatts.
So only 2 of the matches, I believe, were ever televised.
There's actually, you can actually see on internet. There's the video of the original feed.
Yeah,
and it goes to like a blue error screen. Basically.
Yes, and so 2 days later, they resumed the show at a new venue. For some reason, a larger venue, the North Charleston Coliseum, also in South Carolina. That place had a capacity or has a capacity of 13,295. Only 4,500 people showed up.
You do have
So
to.
this is probably on a Tuesday.
You do have to appreciate this Wikipedia entry, though, listing all of the matches save for the main event, which was, I think, televised. It came back. The feed came back right before the main event. It lists them all as dark matches.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty clever.
Yeah. But also factual, because nobody at home saw them, and really nobody in the arena could see them.
Yeah. And kind of fitting for this show, the main event was Shawn Michaels versus British Bulldog, and it ended in no contest.
Yeah. The funny thing is, so then, like you said, they came back to it, and then 4,500 people showed up.
Yeah.
At the North Charleston Coliseum. How far away was that from the Florence Civic Center?
I don't know. I'll look into that. You go through the card a little bit.
Okay. So we've got a couple of big names here. This is when the roster, what year was this? 96. Okay. Bob Holly versus Isaac Yankem.
That's Kane.
That's Kane.
That's got to be Kane.
Mark Merrow versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
That's
People
so good.
saw that one.
So Florence is here, and North Charleston is here, and that's a good stretch of road there.
Did they come, like, if you had a ticket for the other one, could you get into the new one?
I doubt it with that much distance between the two places.
What what? I'm supposed to go to a place and then, like, you can't even see what's going on, and I'm like, you're cool with that?
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
They give some refunds or something?
I don't know, man. You got to see 3 matches. You got to experience more than that, but you only got to see 3 of them.
Well, you got to be a part of history for sure. So yeah, then they like ran a place a couple hours away or whatever.
Yeah, I got an hour and a half to be away.
Okay, and only 4,500 people showed
So the matches that people missed the first time around were Yokozuna versus Vader. Vader lost. Goldust beat The Undertaker in a casket match for the Intercontinental Championship. Justin Bradshaw lost to Jake Roberts. So you only really lost like 3.5 matches.
I mean, I would have liked to have seen Goldust Undertaker.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen Yokozuna Vader. It's a 3-minute banger right there.
Man, Jake the Snake beat
he destroyed
Bradshaw
JBL
in 30 seconds. That must have been one DDT, basically.
A DDT right there. He stumbles over to JBL, drops in the DDT.
Yep.
But then people got to see Shawn Michaels versus British Bulldog.
Yeah, to a no contest. There was another dark match, which was the Ultimate Warrior taking on Owen Hart.
Wow, 4-minute banger.
Yeah, man. And then Ahmed Johnson defeating Jerry Lawler.
Boy, Vince giveth and taketh away, man. That Ultimate Warrior, boy, he just kept on going back to him, huh?
It was a bad idea, man.
That's so
I don't know what
weird.
he's thinking.
Like, it's 1996, dude. And look at what WCW is doing at the time. I kind of want to know that now. This is just
on this date.
On this date.
This is just Stephen Larson search the internet.
Oh, I love it. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're joining us for. Okay,
yeah,
so
it's a spontaneous.
In your house. What was the date of this?
I don't know.
Okay, house 8.
8.
This was May 26, 1996. This is on the verge of the NWO forming.
Yeah.
This might have been after Scott Hall debuted already.
Could have been.
Scott Hall debuts. Let's see here. May 27th, he debuted.
Oh, man.
So was that a day?
It was right in between these two shows.
Oh, wow. So they had this show, Power Goes Out, Scott Hall debuts, blows up wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have this other crap show.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And then, when was, what was it, Bash of the Beach 96?
Yes.
Yeah. What date was that? July, not till July. Wow.
Yeah, they teased that
Only 8,300 people were there to see.
That's interesting. Witness history, huh?
But then the next one was Hog Wild. Only 5,000 people went to go see that.
Yeah, if we include WCW.
When is it going to pick up? Fall Brawl. Oh, look at that. Picks up big time. 11,003. Halloween Havoc, boom, 10,000.
Yeah.
World War III, boom, 10,000.
Yeah. If we include WCW, there's some of them towards the waning days of WCW. The attendance was like low.
Really bad, yeah. I mean, Hog Wild you can't really pay attention to because
that's at Sturgis, right?
You just have like your motorcycle, right?
Yeah, it's just you can park. If you can park your motorcycle, find a place to park your motorcycle. Congratulations, you get to watch a wrestling show.
You're good to go. Oh, here we go. So June 16th was the next WCW pay-per-view. They had 9,000. The Great American Bash. What was their May 19th? So right before this one, they were running 7,700, almost 7,800.
That's what Kevin Nash was saying. Like no one was doing good business in the mid-90s.
Baton Rouge, yeah. What was the main event of that? Giant versus Sting for the WCW Heavyweight Championship.
Ooh.
Is there a Hogan match in here? Where's Hogan?
No Hogan.
He wasn't even like in a dark match? What the heck? Was he still licking his wounds from the Giant beating him?
Maybe.
That's all weird. Anyways, let's move on to number one, man.
Number one.
Taboo Tuesday 2004. Again, it was on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was the first time they did it. Probably should have been the last time.
We did Taboo Tuesday 2005. You're right. That's when we watched.
Okay.
Not 2004.
It did look familiar though, because they repeated a bunch of the stuff.
It feels like the set looked the same and stuff.
Yeah, it did. The Fulfill Your Fantasy stuff, which was like kind of a battle royal type thing.
And I thought I remembered the Shelton Benjamin, Chris Jericho stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we started watching it.
Yeah, that could be.
So many things just kind of blend together for me.
Oh,
This happens when you get old.
Yeah. No.
Anyways, this took place at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. Capacity for wrestling is 18,800. 3,500 people showed up at this show.
Oh, wow.
3,500.
Oh my god.
A lot of empty seats. We watched the opening of the show, and like the floor towards opposite hard cam looked pretty full, but the same size as the A cam, the hard cam, pretty sparsely populated.
Yeah, and they didn't obviously there's not really anything going on in the upper deck, and the camera really just focuses on the only areas where there's any people.
Yeah.
But like you could tell, there's a lot more going on there with like not a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
there's not a lot more going on there.
Not a lot more going on, no. But yeah, again, 2004 is a downtime.
Yeah.
They're rebuilding. But yeah, it was, and it's I don't know, it's so awkward too. Some of the bullshit on here, like there was some good stuff, like that.
Yeah,
the main event, Orton versus Flair.
They bled a ton.
They bled a lot. It was a steel cage match. It was a good match. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels for the big gold belt. Christy Hemme versus somebody named Carmella.
Yeah,
that is not the Carmella we know.
No.
She was probably in middle school at this time. 2004. That was 15 years ago.
Oh, this Carmella was a Playboy.
Oh, that's right. She wasn't
model,
even
yeah.
like a real WWE person. Wait, when did she Diva Search? Oh, she was in the Diva Search.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so she was trying to be.
Yeah.
That was a terrible match.
Oh, it was horrible.
I mean, it was a pillow fight.
Still horrible.
But it's still really bad. Like, it turned into wrestling at some point.
Yeah.
Chris Benoit and Edge beat La Resistance. Really, it was Benoit. Edge walked out on him, but Benoit, because
Edge was really bent out of shape not being in the title match.
Yeah, he got pretty pissed off about that. Eugene beat Eric Bischoff because I had forgotten this, but Eugene was Eric Bischoff's nephew, according to story. And so he beat Bischoff, and then people got to vote on what the punishment would be.
Yeah.
And it was shave your head. Somehow I skipped past it. Coachman got involved. He was the MC of the entire thing. He got involved, and Vince McMahon made him accept the punishment of wearing a dress. I was, to be honest, chuckling during the entire thing.
Vince's trash talk was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny.
Especially when we discovered that Bischoff had some gray hairs.
Right. You dye your hair, don't you? And he was like, yeah, so what? Oh, you're just a phony son of a bitch.
It's pretty funny.
He said to Coachman, button that up. Letting all your junk out.
That's pretty funny.
And then we had a Shelton Benjamin versus Chris Jericho.
That's probably pretty good.
Shelton Benjamin, they had this makes me think it was a freaking work because the voting stuff.
Batista was on there. But Shelton Benjamin was pretty popular back then.
No, he was, but there was 10 other people, and he got 37% of the vote. He got a huge chunk of it.
Yeah.
He was pretty popular. People really like Shelton Benjamin.
Oh, he's great.
Senor Benjamin. In the dark match, we had Sergeant Slaughter versus Muhammad Hassan. I wonder what the story with that was.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's crazy. And then, of course, Gene Snitsky, a weapon of choice match.
What weapon did he choose, Steve?
It was like wasn't a
I thought you were going to say his humongous nipples.
I was saying this. I might have watched this at Evalde's house, and I swear to God, it was some Snitsky match that we saw. I have not seen him laugh so hard, and I was laughing so hard at the length of that dude's nipples. They were so big. I don't know what weapon he chose. I fast forward. I just know that Kane went out on a stretcher.
No.
And, he didn't get revenge for Snitsky killing his baby because he gave Kane a steel chair shot to the back.
And then he punted the baby, didn't he?
He punted a fake baby.
Yeah.
Because the story was Lita miscarried.
Oh.
Her and Kane's child, which I think was a mess how that was conceived anyways.
Yeah.
And then Kane was wearing a lot of black polo shirts, like his normal Kane.
Yeah.
And then Snitsky, he blasted Kane. Kane falls into Lita. She miscarries, which I guess would be considered a squash match. And then, that led to this match. After a bunch of like stupid hospital skits with like Snitsky and his big tagline, then it wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
Snitsky was hilarious. But anyways, yeah. So lean times. We'll see what the attendance is. What take a guess, Larson.
5,200
for Stomping Grounds.
Yeah.
That looked far more populated.
I can go through there and count the seats.
I'm gonna say they're gonna get
69.
Nice.
That's my guess.
I'm gonna say they're gonna do. I'll say 8,300.
Oh wow.
I'll say they'll do 8,300. I think that there was more people.
69.
Okay, I like that. That's good. 69. We'll see in the newsletter in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Anyways. Let us know what your favorite lowest attended WWE pay-per-view was, or if we missed one, put it in the comments. Nothing we can do about it now. The episode's already shot.
You can't do anything about it.
Never doing it again.
Yep.
So, anyways, that's it. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.